What's up, YouTube? This is Boxingwave, and we are live, man. Back with another live chat. We're going to talk about the huge fight that's coming up this weekend between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. I'm sure you guys heard about it. It's the biggest fight in all of boxing right now, and we're getting it this Saturday live on Showtime pay-per-view. I believe 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. I apologize, but it's going to be this weekend. It's going to be $84.99 if you're here in the States to order the pay-per-view. It's going to be on Showtime, and it's also going to be on the Zone. All right. Um, Shout out to my guy Aaron Gortman. All right. He left a comment before I went live. And thank you for the donation. He says, "Yo, Wave, thanks for another great video on my days off." Well, I'm off today as well. And this is exactly why I'm on here right now. I work a lot, but I was able to watch the presser today. The reason why I'm doing this last final thoughts today instead of tomorrow after the weigh-in is because I won't be around to go live for the weigh-in. All right. So I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Obviously, if there's something that's crazy that goes down at the weigh-in, one of these guys looked terrible at the weigh-in or something like that, excuse me, I'll find time to do some kind of content before the actual fight. But at the end of the day, I will be here this Saturday doing live commentary, but it's going to be a different ride, totally different vibe, because I'm going to actually have people over here during the fight, and it's not going to be super professional. So I'm just letting you guys know that Saturday is going to be crazy here. And yeah, so I'm gonna be on. This will be my first time having a fight party, and I didn't invite them. I only invited a few people, but it's the first time I'll have a fight party in my place while doing live commentary. I actually used to have a lot of fight parties in my house, but since I started doing a live commentary, I've always trying to make sure the commentary is on point. So for the main event, the commentary will be on point, but it's probably going to be a little loud in here. All right, so make sure you guys, if you haven't already, if you are new, subscribe to the channel. All right, and smash the like button on your way in. So all you guys, the 28 people that's already here, hit that thumbs up for me. Do me that favor. I appreciate that. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to Scott. I see you. The Nerdgen, what's up with you, bro? El Chivo, MAW. Shout out to y'all, and my man Aaron as well. All right, so I dropped the breakdown yesterday. And to be honest, it's a long breakdown. All right. And I normally do long breakdowns for the bigger fights. It's a long breakdown because I went into a whole lot of different stuff, how we got there, everything that was leading up to the fight. I talked about the catch weights. I talked about the film study I did. I think I gave you the advantages of both fighters, talked about their careers, all of that stuff. It was a long breakdown. But I will have to admit, though, at the very end of the breakdown, I was a little rushed because I had a spa appointment. I was looking at the clock, and I'm like trying to give you my thoughts. But so I want to say the video probably should have been like about 3 minutes longer, only because I wanted to I gave you the breakdown, but I wanted to give you more of an explanation on why I picked Tank over Ryan. Now, before any film study that I've done on this fight coming up this weekend, before I did any film study, I already knew, I already knew who I was going with. I was always going with Tank when it came to this fight. But the reason why I do film study is because, especially on a fight like this, is I'm specifically looking at ways that Ryan can win the fight. All right. Because I want to be as fair as possible. So you ask me who's going to win a fight, I'm going to tell you, hey, I think such and such is going to take the fight. But I have changed my picks at the time after doing film study, and after watching Ryan, the key thing that I saw is that he's definitely improves with Joe Goosen. Definitely, without a doubt. In fact, if this fight were to happen at the time Ryan had fought Luke Campbell or any time prior to that, I would have give Ryan zero chance of being Tank, on being Devin Haney or Shakur or Tiafimo or any other top guy at 135. I think now that he's with Joe, I will admit that there are certain things, certain flaws that I think he's gotten better at. I broke that down in the breakdown. The thing is, and the key thing for me, and the reason why I went with Tank at the end of it all, is that I just think Tank has more advantages overall. You know, he's been in there with the better fighters. He's a little bit more seasoned. Um, he has the power as well. I think his boxing IQ is extremely underrated, and I stated this in the video. There's just too many advantages for Tank. For Ryan, yes, he has extremely fast hands. Yes, he's very powerful. Yes, he's obviously bigger, taller, rangier, and I think he's better at learning, or he's learned how to use that range better than before. So prior to doing any breakdowns, doing any film study. My bad. Been sipping a little bit today. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of nice out today. So if I mess up with the words a little bit, had a little sip, it's my day off. I'm kind of in the vibe right now. So if I slip up with the words, I'm just like, you already know how we do. But on a serious note, um, I think Ryan has improved dramatically for this fight, but I still am unsure how it would work out for him on this level. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I haven't seen him. They pretty much, and you know how Golden Boy do. Let's be real, Oscar. You might be a Ryan supporter, but I feel like Oscar do somewhat protect his fighters. They do. Watching the press conference today. The press conference was very entertaining, actually. I didn't really care for the other press conference. I thought they were cool, but they were typical. They were no better than the Rolly and Tank press conferences. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's not a big trash talker. He seems like a really, really nice guy. I feel like he's very PC. He says all the right things. He says all the right things. I don't think he's big. He's just like, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn that you're gonna wait. I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna knock him out. He's very basic in his trash talk. He's not really much of a talker, and that's fine. But I liked what he said today. I feel like he always has a response. They're two totally different guys. They're two totally different. They're all of the complete opposite ends of each other. Tank from the hood, he from B-more. You know what I'm saying? He's from the streets. He grew up poor. He grew up through all this shit. Like, he's totally different dude. So I'm not expecting Ryan to really go back and forth with Tank as far as a war of words or as far as their upbringing or anything like that. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what happens in the ring. But what I tell you, what I did like, I like the talk between Leonard Ellaby and Oscar De La Hoya. I like that. I like that. And not for nothing, they're pushing for the fans. What's up, Boxing Gyms? What's up, Ryan? What's good with you, bro? They're pushing the fact that they're not fighting for a title. A lot of hardcore fans hate the fact that they're getting all of the attention and they're not even fighting for a title when there's an actual undisputed champion in the division right now. They're even marketing themselves like, listen, this is not for a title. This is about this guy is famous. This guy is famous. These is about whoever wins this fight is the biggest name in boxing. That's how they're marketing the fight. They're not even marketing it about titles and all that. In fact, they downplaying the titles. Leonard Ellaby, in every interview that he's done, is just basically him downplaying the titles. I mean, of course he's going to downplay because his fighter doesn't have a title, a legitimate one. Boxing Gyms, thank you for the donation, man. This is my guys. Boxing Gyms, film study, salute, a likely winner and a good puncher's chance. Yes, absolutely. Shout out to my man Ryan, because we talk off of this. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. But make sure you guys subscribe to Boxing Gems. I'm sure a lot of you already are on Boxing Gems channel. Make sure you subscribe. The best film study out there. Not even. I ain't even gonna put you in that element. One of the best YouTube channels, period. One of my top 3 easily. All right. Um, he's educating the boxing community. Educating. I mean, I've learned stuff from his channel. He's educating the boxing community. So if you haven't already, check out Ryan because he's dope. He's dope. He's getting the Tim Bradley cosign. Real talk, he's educating. No more fanboy stuff. There are a good amount of channels. There's very few channels that's not talking fanboy. They educate people on the sport. And I can tell because I can see at the comments that people leave, very similar to my channel. I love my supporters. I love you guys because you guys leave very educated comments. Yes, I get a few stupid ones from people that don't subscribe, but I like this channel. So this is my guy right here. Make sure you subscribe to him and check out the film studies he did for this fight. You gotta check them out. All right, everything you need to know is there. All right. So where was I at? I like the trash talk between Ellerby and Oscar. That's what a promoter is supposed to do. You know, you go up there and talk your shit. You know, let's not be professional. You go up there. Oscar went up there and called out Tank and his team. They say, I respect you, I respect you, I respect you. But Tank, not sure about his team. His team's kind of funny. I don't think they're confident. Called them out. You asking for these catch weights and rehydration clauses and the night of the fight or the time you got to weigh a certain point. I like that. Call it out. But Ellerby went up there and bombed on him. What the F are you talking about? What happened to all your fighters? You know how the A side worked. You've been there. Even after the presser was over, he went further into it. You know, you were the A side against Floyd. You've made people have catch weights, gave examples. I love it. I love it. For a fight that doesn't involve a title, I'll tell you, they did a great job. They get a great job at marketing the fight and telling people like, yo, a belt doesn't need to be on the line for this one. This is so big. We don't even need a belt. Whoever wins this, they're not saying that whoever wins this is the best in the sport. They're saying whoever wins this is the face of the sport. Period. They're going in that direction. Now, us diehards like myself, you know what I've been telling you, Undisputed is next month. But at the end of the day, we already know people are going to come out and show out for this fight. They're not going to give them that same love for Devin Haney and Lomachenko. But it is what it is. People like what they like. Like, you can't get mad at people liking what they like. And to be honest, I just started doing my Lomachenko, Devin Haney film study. I did some this morning because I just felt like it. I said, these are the other 2 guys at the division. How do I see them in their fight? And to be honest, as much as I love that fight and I can't wait for that fight to go now, it's much harder to decide on that fight there. I'm going to keep it real. Watching Tank Davis is more entertaining. It's more entertaining to me. His fights have so much drama. I have to say, I can't say that Loma and his technical ability, as good as he is, I can't say that I'm more entertained by his fights or Devin Haney's fights. I can't say that. I have to be honest. I respect the sweet science, but I see the sweet science in Tank too. He's just a little wild with it. And I think that's what it is. I think that's part of the reason why people underestimate Tank's IQ, because they're looking at all the flashiness. They're looking at everything. They see him getting in all kind of trouble outside of the sport. They see all the people in the front row. They see the tats. They see the jewelry. They see all of that. The flamboyantness. They see that. And they see the knockouts. And we forget that this dude can actually box. And that's part of the reason why I picked him at the end of the day. Ryan looks good. Ryan looks better. In fact, if Ryan wins, I can see him winning. I think that even though Ryan may not have the greatest resume, I still believe that this is his most dangerous fight. I'm talking about Tank. You know, a lot of us always like to go back on the Jose Pedraza fight. You know, because Tank fought him so early, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know. I've said this before on the channel. I didn't do a breakdown, but at that time, I was like, man, I think it was too soon for him to fight Pedraza. I did. And he beat the hell out of Pedraza. In fact, to this day, even at 140, where Pedraza has been at, no one has beaten Pedraza like the way Tank did. I mean, all the way up into stoppage. He punished Pedraza. No one to this day have done that. Even Loma didn't. Ramirez, Comey, all these guys, none of them did it. Aaron asks if I'm going to Lomachenko Haney. I'm not going to any specific fights. I gotta take it easy because I've been spending money on fights. Those last 2 fights I went to, no, the last 3, right? Because I spent a lot of money going to that. What was the last one I was just at a couple weeks ago? What fight was that? I'm bugging. At the Top Rank fight. I can't think of the fight it was. I was at the Top Rank card the other week with my dad. I spent a lot of money on that. Then I went to London to watch Anthony Yarde and Beterbiev a couple months ago. Oh, Shakur. And then before that, I went to MSG to watch, I think in December. I was on the floor in that fight too. Yeah, I'm chilling with fights, man. I like to support boxing, but I think I've been doing too much. Like, I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna chill for a little bit. I'm gonna get a little break, and maybe in the summer or something, I'll do something here. But I'm not I'll tell you this one. I'm not traveling for a fight for a little while. So anything that's happening in Vegas, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But I did another fight in December, and I can't. It was another Top Rank card because Jared Anderson fought on it. Let me look it up. I'm bugging now. Jared Anderson. All right. Who was on that card? Who was the main event? Jared Anderson fought when he fought Forrest. What fight card was that? Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin. So I went to that too. So I'm gonna take it easy on fights for a little bit, just for a little bit. I've been going out a lot, so I've been outside. You know what it is? The pandemic killed me, man, because I didn't go to any long fight. I didn't go to any live fights for a long time. So I'm gonna chill for a little bit, but maybe in the summer, at some point in the summer, I'll probably go out to another fight. But I'm gonna take a break for a few months before I go to another fight. I usually go to about 3, 4, maybe 5 fights a year, tops. And I already in the last 4 or 5 months, I already went to 3 cards. So I'm gonna chill for a little bit. Let me read some of the comments. El Chivo says, Boxingwave, I hate to be that guy, but did you hear the rumor saying Bud versus Spence announced is imminent? Yeah. I'm expecting them to announce it on this fight and have a face off in the ring. I would like that. I would like that. I mean, we gotta just wait and see. But I'm not. Yo, I told y'all I'm not doing any more content on those two unless they are official. It's official, then I'm doing it. But I already thought about it. But I'm not giving y'all no more. I'm not arguing no more. I'm just done with arguing with people about that fight. About I'm gonna argue about who's gonna win, but I'm not arguing about whose fault it is because of the time it took for it to happen. I'm done with that. It's just too much. Like, I'm not talking about dudes that's not fighting. What up, cuz? I'm on live. Yeah. Yeah. Everything. Just text me. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna argue about who wins a fight. Oh, I'm gonna if they announce that fight, oh, we all go to war. We going to war. We gonna have a good time leading up to that fight. That's serious. I'm gonna talk my shit. I already started talking my shit on. In fact, I on Twitter, I already pinned my prediction on Twitter. But if they don't have the fight, I'm not gonna make no content on that fight. I already made a breakdown last year just to talk, just to do one, just for the hell of it. And we never got the fight. But I'm gonna give you an updated breakdown. I'm gonna do all of that, but it's like the Conor Ben situation. Like UCAD. Suspend. I'm not making a million videos on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the time. I'm not making a million videos on a dude that's not fighting no one. You give us a date and you in there somewhere outside of the UK, then I'll make some content on you. But I'm not making content on updates on Conor Ben's situation. Hell no, that's too much work. 270 pages of details on why his drug situation is going the way it is. Hell no. You think I'm going to read that to tell you guys? Hell no. I love you guys, but I don't love you that much. Hell no. I ain't doing that. So yeah, nah. If Bud, I'm expecting though. I'm expecting Bud and Spence to have they face off. It only makes sense. Like if they're gonna do it, this is the time to do it. A lot of people, it's gonna be a lot of eyes on this fight. A lot of people are gonna be in the building. You might as well start the buzz for a summer fight at this card. What I will say is though, let's talk about the pay-per-view. What do you guys think the pay-per-view? Just tell me real quick, because I already have the number in my head. What do you think that the pay-per-view numbers are gonna be? Just let me know in the comments. What is your prediction for pay-per-views? I'm only asking because a lot of people feel that Tank ain't really a superstar. And what I'm saying by superstar is that by past, we looking at the history of the sport, we look at the numbers that they did. These guys today don't put up those kind of numbers because it's that time is dead. The pay-per-view thing is dead. Even the few people that do 700K, if you're doing 700K today, that would have been 1.5, 10 years ago. So with that being said, I feel like the fight, I think the number I have in my head is about 650. Now, in the beginning of this, I was thinking like a little less than 500. But recently, I'm like, I think they're going to do a cool 650. I don't think we're going to get the numbers on the week of. I don't think we're going to get them unless they're crazy. Like if the numbers is like 900 plus or 800 plus, they're going to drop the numbers right away. You already know how they do. If the numbers is trash, they're not going to release those numbers. They're going to release those numbers. They're going to get all the numbers from around the world, and then we're going to get the numbers like a month from now. But if they do good, I think they might put the numbers out there like 800K. Getting a million, I can't see a million right now. Monroe, what's good with you, boy? I see you. All right, so let me see what you got. Boxing Gyms got 400K. Itty Bitty Bad Boy 700K. Maker 650K. Geo 500K. 500 to 700K. Come on, Geo. Come on, you can't do that. Yo, you can't say 500 to 700. You got a whole 200,000 there. Some people don't even do pay-per-views for 200,000. How do you gonna put a whole? That's kind of wide, my dude. You gotta narrow it down a little bit. All right. Senor Dinero says 300K. I was thinking that too. I was thinking like, yo, maybe it won't even do like that much, but you never know. Camp Ish has 700K. Rico, another 600 to 800. My man, can you do like maybe like 600 to 650? You do a whole 200,000. That's like a whole third of your prediction. Come on, bro. Yo, all right. If this can officially, so let me say this. If this officially breaks a million, if it officially, like official, not no, yo, we gotta wait till the numbers come in shit. Like, I mean like $1 million. A million pay-per-view, not $1 million, a million pay-per-view buys, then what they've been saying all this time about those two is true. Because Tank's numbers and I haven't been all that crazy. Now, I'll admit, when Tank fights, people pay to see Tank. Like, I'm at a point now as far as America, if you're not including Canelo or like AJ or Fury or something, I think Tank got it. As far as live events, Tank might got it right now in America. But him and Ryan do $1 million on pay-per-view. Oh, it's super over. You're never going to see him in the undisputed fight. He's not going to be fighting that. You don't have to. He's not going to be fighting no Devin Haney. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. That's what I'm saying. Jim said it too. That would be phenomenal in this era. Yo, 1 million buys today is easily 2 mil 10 years ago. We talking 2015, anytime before 2016. 1 million today, when you have the access to watch it for free. That's crazy. I told you my numbers when I said what I'm saying, I'm going to go with 650K. But my numbers is improved because before I thought it was just going to do just less than 500K. But I've been going out. Like, I've been outside a lot, and I've been walking past bars, and I've been seeing the posters on everything. So they spending money to make this happen, for real. The Grown, what's up, man? He says, Wave, I already paid for the fight. Team, no fire stick. Damn. So let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think Devin Haney and Lomachenko's gonna do? Let's just talk about it. Because I'm putting that breakdown out next. I'm getting that over it. I want to get that over with. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about that in this video. No. We'll do it on another live. That's what I'll do. I'll do a live first, and then I'll do an actual breakdown. Maker says 375. What? Nah. I'm sorry. I would love for them to do that, but nah. Truth over lies 350. Mark says 200. Boxing Gym says 100K. The Grown says 275 to 325. Itty Bitty says 100, 200. You got to remember, I think Hellenius and Wilder did something like 75K. Yeah. I don't think 300 is going to happen. You know, I think at the on the best day, like if they're extra promoting this shit, um, I can see them. I can see them do maybe like if they promote it crazy, I say 200. And the number in my head, I'm thinking like 150. I'm thinking like a cool 150. And remember this when we talking about pay-per-view buys, don't get it twisted. We're not talking about. I'm not trying to diss the fighter. I love these fighters. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, it's not about how I feel about them. I'm talking about people willing to pay for pay-per-views. Look at the UFC. Look at the fights we've been getting lately from them. The pay-per-views we've been getting. People are tired of paying for pay-per-views, man. So you involve them and boxing combined and the pay-per-views we're getting. It's just too much, man. People are not trying to pay. Yo, this thing on Saturday gonna be $85, man. And I'm gonna have some people over. I'm gonna pay $85 for that. You know, I gotta get some food. I already bought alcohol, man. I bought the alcohol, man. It's too much money, man. It's too much. It's too much. And you know, and on top of that, people are not even giving Loma a chance. Not for nothing, but all I hear is that Lomachenko is too small. That's all I'm hearing. They're saying Haney wins because he's too big. Yeah, Randy, 650 total is my prediction for the pay-per-view for Tank and Ryan. Yeah, everybody, and that's part of the reason why people are not gonna pay. Because people are already writing Loma off. They didn't like the Jermaine Ortiz performance. People didn't like it. People remember, what do they remember? They remember him losing to Teofimo, and they remember him having that last fight with Jermaine Ortiz, which was extremely competitive. People are writing Lomachenko off. I don't think they should, but they are. I'm telling you how it is. They're completely writing him off. Anytime I talk, I think I talked about that fight like 2 days ago with one of my best friends. He was like, Loma is too small. He's so small. That's all I'm hearing. Loma has been smaller than every single fighter he's faced at 135. The Grown says, wait, first party since Pac Thurman. Nah, well, Pac Thurman, I was in Vegas for that one. But last time I had a fight party was before I moved back to Harlem. It was in my old house. So if you were old school Boxingwave fan, that's when I had my crib, my house. And I used to throw fight parties all the time. I think the last fight party I had was Lara and Canelo. Or maybe Floyd and Guerrero. I had a fight party for Floyd. I'll tell you why I had stopped having fight parties. I had a fight party in my house. I don't know if it was Floyd. It was probably a Floyd fight. Right? Who Floyd Mayweather fought? Floyd Mayweather and Guerrero. I had a fight party for. No, Floyd Mayweather and Maidana had one for too. Yeah, I haven't had fight parties. I used to throw fight parties all of the time. Last time I had a fight party, I had about 50 something people in my house. And no, that wasn't the last one. The last one, I had less than that. Somebody broke my sink off the wall. Oh man, and it was about to be a whole, it was bad, yo. It was a friend of a friend, and he broke the sink off the wall, bro. He was drunk and he was leaning, he was throwing up and he was leaning on the sink, and I guess he just broke it. He opened the door and he was like, "Yo, my bad." Mind you, this is not my boy. This is some dude that came with one of my boys. Um, and he broke the sink off the wall, bro, and it turned into a whole mess. We was about to fight. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, man. That was the last time I do a fight party, yo. I used to throw fight parties all the time, man. Yo, I used to throw fight parties before I had my house. I had a studio apartment, right? I had a studio apartment. This is my first apartment. I just had turned 22, and I had a studio apartment. And yo, all I had was my bed, my dining room table. I had my kitchen right there. I had like one extra seat, and then I had a seat for my desk. And dude, I had my one TV because it's a studio. So I had no bedroom. My whole living room was my bedroom. And yo, I used to throw fight parties in there, yo. But we were all like younger 20s. Used to be like, it would be no more than, I think the most I had was I think I had like 8 or 9 people in there one time. It was like 4 people sitting on the bed, people sitting on the dining room tables, chairs, people sitting on my lounge chair, people sitting at the desk chair. So we made it work. Well, it was dope though. We used to have, it'll be like 4 of my boys, it'll be like 4 chicks. Yo, we used to have a good time. Like, I told you the last time I did a fight party in my studio was when Floyd fought Shane Mosley. So I told that story plenty of times, but my studio apartment is when I had that fight party. So I told the story. I mean, I guess if you didn't hear the story was I had put a bet for Shane Mosley to win, because even though Floyd is my guy, Shane Mosley is like one rank ahead of him. It's my all-time favorite fighters. So I was rooting for Shane to win because I was a fan of Shane before I was a fan of Floyd. So me and my best friend, one of my best friends, he was over. And you know how that fight went, but in the beginning of the fight, when Shane hurt Floyd, I was talking crazy. Yo, I was talking so much trash. And then Floyd beat the hell out of Shane Mosley for the remainder of the fight after the second round. But yeah, man, I'm done fight parties in my studio, in my house. And I think I had one fight party while I was in my place in Harlem, but I haven't had one since. I had one fight party, but I didn't go live. I wasn't doing live. I got on live commentary kind of late, you know. Boxing Jim says I had a 1 bedroom with 100 projector. Damn. That's how you do it. You make it work, man. You make it work. Word of the day says those were the good old days. Now, my dad, bro, hold on 1 second. Let me just go to the bathroom because I've been holding it. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta listen to this. Hold on. Yo, so when I was a kid, my dad had these crazy fight parties, right? I mean, crazy. I mean, super crazy. Crazy. Catered food, um, DJ, all of that. No, I'm confusing that with the New Year because he used to do these legendary New Year parties. But the fight parties, he had ordered them, well, not ordered, but they had the hot boxes, right? The old school black cable boxes from the early, late 80s, early 90s. So we'll have the fights on in the basement, in the living room. And yo, people used to come out, man. I mean, yo, people would come out like it's the fight itself. People would come out dressed up. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. That's how I got into boxing. He used to come out, like people used to come to the house dressed up. People bring their girl or like I'm thinking about it now because they were younger at that time because this is I'm talking like early 90s time, like early mid 90s. Yeah, I think early mid 90s, I want to say. So any fight that happened in between the time from when Holyfield, every Holyfield fight, every boat, I'm talking about heavyweights. It was nothing else except, you know what? He wouldn't even do it. You know what's crazy? I don't know if he even did the fight parties for the Roy Jones fights or anything less. It was always heavyweights. Roy Jones, even though Roy Jones was like top tier, it was only heavyweights, yo. In the 90s, it was just the fights. If Riddick Bowe was fighting, or Evander Holyfield, or Mike Tyson, or Lennox Lewis, or like he would have a fight party and people will come out, man. I mean, I would be the kids. Sometime the kids are there, like sometime they would bring their kids, but most of the time it'll be like me and like maybe one or two other kids there. It wasn't even like, yeah. I mean, I know because he'd be here, but damn, that was like a moment, man. I'm glad I was able to experience that. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I think the biggest fight party I did was it was 50 people in my house. I even got the pictures. I think I still got the pictures on my phone from that night. Everybody was sitting on the floor. I had people in the basement. I had it on both. I had to put it on. I had to order it twice on two different TVs because if you order the pay-per-view, it's only showing it from that one TV. So I think I had to order one fight, and I think it was Floyd and Guerrero because I think that was the first fight Floyd had after he got out of jail. Hold on, let me look. Floyd fought 2011. He fought Victor Ortiz. Oh nah, I think it was Miguel Cotto. Yeah, it was Miguel Cotto. It was Miguel Cotto. Because I don't think I had a fight. It was either that or Robert Guerrero. I had a fight party for those two. And I think the last one I had was Floyd against Marcos Maidana. Yes, it was. Because Marcos Maidana almost beat Floyd. And I remember doing a drunk review right after the fight. I was like, yo, Maidana won. And that was the last time. But that was the night that somebody broke my saint. Yeah. So that's the last one I did. But this weekend, I'm gonna have just a few people over. My dad's gonna be here. I think my uncle, like some of my people. So I'm only gonna have like 7, 8 people here. They're even marketing. Yeah, I'm not gonna have a bunch of people here. All right, but yeah, let's talk about this fight. So, man, what? Imagine Ryan wins the fight, and that's the one thing. Like as far as gambling for you gamblers out there, I put about 80% on Tank winning by knockout. I put about 10%. No, I put about 15% on Ryan winning straight up. And I want to say I put about 5% on the draw. All right. The reason why I picked Ryan straight up instead of knockout is that I believe that Ryan Garcia can win a decision win. Let's say if no one gets knocked out, I believe that Ryan has a chance of winning a decision simply because of his activity. You know, Tank gives away rounds, and he's just not the best at winning rounds. You know, he lost rounds to Leo Santa Cruz. He lost rounds to Mario Barrios. You know, he even lost rounds to Rolly Romero. You know what I'm saying? He lost rounds to Hector Garcia. He loses rounds all the time. So I wasn't gonna bet nothing on earlier. I was gonna bet anything on Ryan. I was gonna do straight up, and I did. I placed my bets on Tank before I even did my film study a couple days ago. But when I did the film study, I was like, nah, Ryan improved a little bit. You know, I think he does the same. I think he has the same mistakes, but I think he's improved on those flaws. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he's improved on the flaws that he has. Let me say that, you know. Boxing Gym says, I think the odds should have been a little better, at least 3-1. Yeah, I think the odds are what, like 2-1? You know, that's another reason why I didn't want to put money on Ryan. You know, because I don't gamble that much. Like, I'm not a heavy gambler. You got to remember, in New York, the app wasn't always available. We weren't allowed to gamble here until last year. So in New York, I wasn't really doing that thing. So now that I have the apps, I play around with it, you know, but I like to bet on the underdog. Like, I did good with Zhang. I did good. I did good last week. You know, I did good with Shaki Foster, even though I told y'all on video, you know, I thought that what's the name was going to win. Vargas was going to win. I put money on Shaki because I thought the numbers, the odds were just too wide for that kind of fight. You know, but this is not really wide at all. You know. Yeah, real talk. Dr. Mafungo says Orion Wood would shock when he says Orion would not shock me, but he has to control the range. Easier said than done. Yeah. But you know what? Even if you're controlling the range and winning, that's exactly what happened with Mario Barrios. You control the range, but what are you going to do when your opponent changes and adjusts to you controlling the range? What happens when you start to fade? It's going to happen. How are you going to deal with the pressure? You know what I'm saying? So if Tank takes away the jab by countering him with right hooks, you know, and he's gonna be pulling with him, he's gonna be probing, he's gonna be doing the same. Ryan has a good jab, but you fighting a guy that's gonna toy around with your jab and get in range. What do you do at that point? That's my question. What do you do? I'm not saying he doesn't have the ability to deal with that, but what I'm saying is that I have not seen a fight that made me feel like, okay, for sure, I think Ryan can win. I think he has the chance to win. But I feel like Tank always figures out who he's facing. I think the only person that Tank didn't completely figure them out is Cruz. I think Tank had an injury in that fight. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he like either broke his hand or something. Cruz Isaac Cruz was just tough all the way through that fight. You know, but that might have been part of Isaac Cruz's not only just his style, but I think that was like the only fighter that Tank fought that was shorter than him. You know, I don't think Tank was used to fighting guys that can get underneath him and be pressed against his chest like that. Tank looked very uncomfortable in that fight. You know, even though a lot of us didn't care for the fight, I know I didn't. I'll admit, you know, regardless of how the fight went, I know I didn't care, and I didn't give Isaac Cruz much of a chance. You know, I gave Isaac Cruz a less of a chance than anybody else that Tank fought. You know, but that fight just wasn't it was no good. You know, it just wasn't a good look for Tank. Boxing Gems, thank you for the donation, man. He says good jab versus really really good lead hand. Definitely different. Yeah. You know, and you know, he broke that down in his video. I said it as well. Tank, you know, Tank is doing a whole lot with that lead hand, you know, and he's the movement, the lateral movement, the change in levels, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, the active high guard, you know, all of those type of things. Um, Tank is doing a whole lot, and I don't think he gets the credit for his boxing IQ. I got to keep repeating that because it's like people remember the knockouts, people remember the rounds he loses. But in my breakdown, I specifically said Tank does something different with every opponent. And when you do that, to me, you're an elite fighter. You know, um, I have Errol Spence higher on my pound for pound list than I have Tank Davis, right? But I have him higher on the pound for pound list because of what he's done in his respected division. But who do I think is a better talented fighter? I think Tank is better than Errol Spence. You know why? Because Eric Errol has perfected what he's done, whereas Tank has he's giving you a different version of himself in every single fight, and he has power of a one punch knockout power. It's like Wilder, you know. It's like I don't think Wilder has the IQ of Tank, but Wilder has the IQ of a guy that even though it looks sloppy, everything he does is not the right way to do it. I think he knows and understands the taught way of doing things. He beats guys that have much better fundamentals than him. He just knows what to do against them, you know, outside of Tyson Fury. I think Tank, and you know, and we could go argue. You know, that's the thing about this is why I don't make a lot of content on pound for pound, because pound for pound is really supposed to be how you feel a fighter as far as skill and talent, where you rate them. But everybody rates them differently. It's based on accomplishments with what you think. If I'm just telling you eye test, that's a different list. And I think Tank is more talented than Errol Spence. I think he is overall. In fact, if I go any further, I think the only person at 135 that is overall more talented than him is Shakur Stevenson. I don't think anybody beats Shakur Stevenson right now. But Tank has the best chance of beating Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion. Y'all can agree. You can. I don't think Lomachenko beats him. I don't think Devin Haney beats him. I don't think Teofimo Lopez would have beat him. I don't think Ryan beats him. I think Tank has the best chances of beating Shakur Stevenson. But I also think that, you know, that's the thing with when we're talking pound for pound, it's like, yes, this fighter accomplished so much, but when I look at them, I feel like, yo, this fighter is better. I feel like he's better. He just haven't had the opportunity to get that work in. You know, that's how I look at it. Like, I felt for like maybe the last couple of years now that I think Shakur is technically better than everybody. Like, I think he's even better than Terrence. Now you know I'm but I think he might be better than Terrence Crawford. And you guys know how I feel about Crawford. I just don't think he has a knockout power as Tank or Crawford. But it's Shakur Stevenson is phenomenal. I mean, this might be the best fight I've seen since Floyd Mayweather. But he hasn't had the opportunity to really prove it yet because he has to prove it against Devin and Loma or Tank or Ryan he has to prove it against that guys. He beat Oscar Valdez, and that was a great win, and he unified. Great, but you still got to show and prove, and that's why I don't make pound for pound videos like that, because it's like, bro, it's easy to counter my argument. My argument is based on what I feel and what I see. But if they don't fight each other, we can argue all day about this shit. You win any argument against me because you're going to be like, well, Errol Spence has unified 3 titles. He's beating Sean Porter. He's beating Danny Garcia. He's beating Kell Brook. Who did Shakur Stevenson beat? Or he beat Oscar Valdez. Who else did he beat? I can't say nothing when it comes to who beat who, but what I will tell you is that what I see from this kid is better from what I see from this guy. But we don't talk about boxing that way because it's just an easy argument to beat, it's kind of like how I saw I like Boots. I like him too. I think he's like my favorite to watch. But that last fight with Karen did expose some of his flaws. But I also feel like, okay, maybe he's just not good at chasing people down. Because once upon a time, Canelo wasn't good at that neither. I always say that Lara fight put Canelo at a different level. No, not even the Lara fight, the Floyd fight too. Let me start off with the Floyd fight. That Floyd loss turned Canelo to a different animal. Because let me tell you something. If he didn't fight Floyd first, he would have lost Lara. Clear. He would have lost that fight. Clear. You know what I'm saying? Certain fights, win or lose, makes you better. Whatever you was doing bad in, you worked on that specifically. And speaking of Lara and Canelo, I thought about that fight today while I was watching this press conference. Oscar De La Hoya was called out by Leonard Ellaby after the presser. Leonard did his rant up there, and it was fun to watch. But he sat down with the commentators over there on Showtime, and he was like, listen, I respect Ryan Garcia because if it wasn't for him, this fight would have never happened. Oscar didn't want the fight. Now, when it comes to Oscar or Leonard or most of these promoters, most of them are just talking shit. But I believe Leonard because Oscar did not want the Lara fight. You guys got to remember that. I think Canelo was so pissed off that Lara had the nerve and the audacity to come up and challenge him while he was on the podium after his win against was it Austin Trout at that time? I can't remember. Who Canelo beat up that time? Was it Austin Trout? No, that was way after Austin Trout. Because this is after Canelo already had his loss against Floyd. What's up, Charles? I see you in there. It was who did he beat? All right. Floyd, he lost to Floyd. Okay, he fought Angulo. He fought Angulo after Floyd. And then he was doing his presser, and Eric Lane Lara came up to the podium and called them out. And it didn't matter what Oscar said. This dude was like, nah, I want him next. That's who I want. Yeah, Kirkland wasn't until after Lara. It was at Lara. He already, the Lara fight already went down. That was the last time I had people over for a fight. I had that over me and my dad, but I only had a few people. That was a special night. I ain't gonna get into the details though, but I had a few people over. I had a few people over for Lara and Canelo, and my dad and my uncle and aunt was there, and me and my dad was going at it about who won that fight. I thought Lara won the fight. He thought Canelo won the fight. He hated the way he hate Arizona. He hate Arizona and Lara. And we was sitting there arguing about who won that fight. That was a dope night though. That night, I can't tell. I'll tell y'all. If I ever get on Patreon, I'll tell y'all. Night was crazy. But yeah, that was. I remember that I had a few people over that night. Yeah. But yo, I believe Ellerby. I like what he was talking today. I think he, because Oscar, what I don't like about Oscar? I expect that from Ellerby. When Oscar or Bernard give me some of that promoter talk, sometimes I'll be like, bro, you guys know better. Come on, you guys were there. You guys knows the in and outs. I didn't like the whole Bernard Hopkins game thing with Bill Haney. I didn't like that. I didn't like that, man. Cause I was like, I love Bernard Hopkins. I love Bernard Hopkins, but bro, I wasn't cool with him trying to downplay Haney's unification and undisputed title. You should know better. No, even as a promoter, there's a way you can promote your fighter, but still pay respect to the guy that won the undisputed title. Even if you don't really respect Kambosos like that, I don't expect a guy like Bernard Hopkins to be that guy. Or even Oscar. Like, you guys were great. I loved you guys. Like, Oscar too. I was a huge Oscar De La Foy. I rooted for Oscar against Tito, and I love Tito too. But that night, I wanted Oscar to win. I love Oscar De La Hoya. I grew up watching this dude. So sometimes when they get into their promoter bag, I'd be like, come on, man. Even Floyd, he do it sometimes too. I'm like, yeah, come on, man. You guys was there. You guys were there. You guys know better. Come on. But yeah, this fight Saturday should be a good fight. I don't really care for the undercard like that. Undercard is weak, but normally these big money fights, the undercard is normally weak. I see that they got Gay Rosado against Bektamir Melikuziev rematch on there. I was like, I looked at the odds out of curiosity, right? I said, like, oh, this guy Beck is really just overrated, because Beck, when he fought Gabe, I gave Gabe no chance. And as the fight was going, I gave Gabe no chance. I like Beck is hitting him to the body. He's just too strong, He hits too damn hard. I was like, I'm not giving Gabe. Gabe is gonna get out of here real early. And he knocked out Beck, and I was like, yo, that was the craziest knockout I've seen in a minute. And that fight was in 2020. So it put Gabe back on the map. That was in 2021. And then he lost all 3 fights right after that. The fight with Jaime Munguia was good, though. He did have his moments in that fight. He did win a few rounds in that fight. But the Shane Mosley Jr. fight did it for me. I was like, yeah, Gabe is done. Because Shane Mosley looked slick as ever I've never seen Shane Mosley box that well, and I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to figure out, was Shane Mosley improved or was Gabe done? I'm not sure, but I've never seen Shane Mosley Jr. fight that way. So Gabe went on to lose to Jaime Munguia, lost to Shane, and then he lost to Ali Akhmadov. I saw that fight too. And I love Gabe, man. I've been covering Gabe fights for the last 10 years on this channel. I think the first breakdown I did was Gabe Rosado against Peter Quillen. That video is still up. And I love Gabe, man. I always root for Gabe, but at the end of the day, his time is up, man. Boxing gyms. I'm leaving that fight alone. He says he betted on Cordina and Rakhimov. I didn't look at the odds, but I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't know. I don't know because Joe Cordina, I didn't even think he was going to win the last one when he knocked this dude out. I ain't do a breakdown, but I was also like, Ogawa. I thought Ogawa was going to be too much, because I seen him with Tevin Farmer and, I've seen him, he's powerful. I just didn't know Joe Cordina like that. So I was like, I'm going to leave that one alone. And Joe knocks him out in 2 rounds, man. And Joe is not even a knockout artist like that. I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving everything else alone. Everything else, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to be able to touch anything. Yeah, David Morrell is going to get a knockout easily. Yo, they did Cordina dirty too when they stripped him. Yo, speaking of strip, yo, Abuelo, what's his name, from 140? He got caught. He got caught with Puello, not Abuelo. I said Abuelo. Puello, Alberto Puello. He got caught up with PEDs and he's been stripped at 140. You guys realize that Rolly Romero is about to fight for a title at 140, a vacant title. Rolly Romero, the last time we seen him in the ring, he got knocked out by Tank Davis at 135. And he's about to fight for a vacant title at 140. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is what's wrong with boxing. Who are they setting him up for? That's all I want to know. Who are they setting up? Who are they setting Rolly Romero up for? Is it Taylor against Tio winner? Is it Prograde? Like, what are they doing? What's going on, bro? Because how do you get knocked out by Tank Davis at 135 and your very next fight, you fighting for a vacant title at 140? That's crazy. J.O. Pilot says, Antoine. What's up, J.O.? What's good with you, man? That's my guy right there. He says, Antoine Russell. Who are they feeding him? Well, if he's going to win the title, let me look up the rankings up in the is it the WBA? I think it is the WBA. WBA. Let me look up the WBA rankings. Yeah, how do you get knocked out in a different division, move up, and get a title shot? That's crazy. So Rolly Romero is going to fight Ismael Barroso, who I'm not familiar with. All right, but that's who is up to get his title shot. You know, um, this is kind of crazy, man. I don't know how they do this thing, man. Who else are champions at 130, 140? Oh, Sabril Matias. Oh, they might make the Matias fight. Matias fights. He fights on Showtime. They might make that fight, y'all. They might, they might, they might make that fight. I could see that fight happening over Gary Antoine Russell. I can see that fight. That would be a unification too. Sabril Matias against Rolly Romero, if he wins, I can see that. They gonna keep it in-house at the end of the day. See this dude, Mr. Cheese, causing havoc in the comments. Dennis Baktov says it happens in women boxing all the time. Well, in women's boxing, unfortunately, and if we're going to be real, and I've said this on the channel, unfortunately, in the division, you have a lot of you don't have that many top tier fighters. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, I looked at the odds earlier with Clarissa Shields and Hannah Gabriel, the rematch, which is crazy. Clarissa Shields is like a negative 4,000 or something. I'm gonna put money down on Hannah Gabriel just in case, like some crazy freak accident happens. You gotta put something down, like even if it's like $20. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, women's boxing, even though you have top tier talent at the top, you know, outside of the top 2, 3, or maybe 4, depending on what division, there's not much range there as far as talent. It's not much. You know, it's not that it's not as many female boxers out there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, now another 5-10 years from now, it'll be a little different. You know, but for now, it's just not that many. You know, people are gonna have to start replay it. Yeah. They have Clarissa Shields as a negative 4,000, and then Hannah Gabriel's plus 1,100. I gotta have to put something on Hannah just in case. If I bet on Clarissa Shields to win, if I bet $100, I get $2.50 back. That's crazy. Yo, imagine betting $100, right? Or imagine betting, if you bet $10, if you bet 10K for you Charleses out there, if you bet 10K, you get $250 back if you win. If you lose the whole 10K. Oh my God, man. That's crazy. Yo, you might as well not even have Clarissa Shields as an option on the pick. You might as well not even have it there. You might as well just take her off the list. Like, you just have the option. Yeah, yo, he said just buy Bitcoin or something. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You might as well just don't even bother with it, you know? No, you should have bought Bitcoin. Should have bought Bitcoin a few months ago before it got crazy again. Now it's getting up there. I ain't check it this week, but last time I checked it was around 30. Should have bought Bitcoin back 6-7 years ago like I did. Yeah, they shouldn't even have a as an option, you know? Yeah. That's a problem with female boxing though. But it's I don't want to say it like that. I want to say it like they're improving though. Like they got dudes really hyped about it. And I think that's good. I'll tell you one thing: men are more hyped into female boxing than they are into women's basketball, for sure. And not college, not NCAA, but professional basketball. Like I feel like we support women's, like boxing fans support women's basketball. I mean, women's boxing than basketball fans support women's basketball. Yeah. Because women's boxing, like at the top tier, at the highest level of each division, is dope. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that for every sport. I feel like when the women, as soon as they leave college and they go to the league, I feel like, I think basketball fans love college basketball so much that, especially with the tournaments, as soon as they go to the league, they don't care no more. You know? And then it says do the mix women basketball with men's. If women consistently had their own shows, no one would care. Let's not mix anything, y'all. Let's just stop. I don't even like it. I don't like to talk. I don't want to mix anything. I saw a video. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to get canceled for some of my comments. But yeah, it's not mix anything. Let me say that. You see the Dave Chappelle joke where he was like, I want to get canceled. He was like, uh, if LeBron plays in the WNBA, he score 800 and something points a game. That was one of my favorite jokes, yo. Shout out to Dave. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Killed him. Or you could STFU. Let me chill, yo. Let me chill. Because I don't want to go into that. But that's why I need a Patreon, because I need to go in there and just go crazy. All right, I need a Patreon. But all right, so before I get out of here, man, what are your last thoughts on the fight, y'all? My last thoughts really mainly is I'm definitely curious about the weigh-in. I want to see what Ryan looks like, mostly Ryan. I mean, Tank fights at the division, so I'm not really worried about them. Yeah, Aaron, I'm watching the NBA playoffs, but I honestly been missing some of the games. But I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm supporting the Knicks. But I watch certain games. Let me just say this: the NBA playoffs is a toss up because everybody's getting injured. Everybody's injured. But I think Ja comes back game 3. Who do I want to win? I would like. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan first, but I'm gonna be realistic. I don't think Knicks can beat Philly. I think the Bucks could lose. Um, I still feel like the Lakers is gonna lose. They lost game 2. All right, I don't get into it. All right. Last thoughts on the fight. I'm curious to see how they look at the weigh-in. Think Tank is gonna be fine. I think more like Ryan. How is he gonna look at the weigh-in? One thing that I didn't really bring up at the end of my breakdown and the prediction is that even though Ryan, has looked okay in the last couple of days, uh, the rehydration clause is also a factor. Like I talk mainly IQ, I talk mainly like boxing ability and stuff like that. I didn't really go in on the weight thing because I feel like a lot of boxing fans just stress weight and size too much and not really the talent and what they're doing in the ring. And that kind of annoys me. So I didn't focus on that, but I do think him coming down to a weight he hasn't been in over 2 years is gonna drain him somewhat. It is mainly because of the rehydration clause. Same day you have to weigh a certain weight. The thing is, we don't know the full spectrum of what exactly he agreed on as far as weight. And at the end of the day, you agreeing on it. So if you lose a fight, it's on you. But it still could be a factor that night in the fight. And I just think that Tank has too many advantages here. He has the experience. He's in his prime. He can adjust. He's the more balanced fighter. He doesn't have to worry about weight. You know what I'm saying? Um, and Ryan, even though he's very quick and very powerful, he don't have the angles Tank do. You know, he doesn't. He has a straight right hand. He has the left hook. He's base. He's easy. If you're a guy that is into giving rounds away to figure out your opponent, I feel like Ryan is tailor made for those type of fighters. You know, so if you're like a Shakur, or if you're like a Loma, or you're like a Devin Haney, if you're a guy that wants to see what your opponent got, well, Shakur doesn't even, he's not even in that book because Shakur tries to win every single round. But if you're Loma, if you're Tank, where you're willing to give away rounds in order to digest whatever your opponent has, I can't give Ryan it. Now, if Ryan wins, cool, we get a respect. Y'all could come back and slander me and talk shit in the comments because that's what y'all do. But if Ryan loses, I'm not gonna be surprised. I think his defense is suspect. And even though I think he's gotten better since he got with Joe, I still don't feel like he has any reflexes defensively. You know, like I just don't think he has it when it comes to getting out of the way with shots. You know, I think his chin is up. I don't think he fully understands all of the advantages of being tall and longer. I compared him to Mario Barrios in my breakdown. I said that Mario Barrios has a better understanding of range, but even with him, he couldn't maintain it because the pressure got to him as he started to fade. I don't think Ryan is on his level of understanding range because part of Ryan's game is that he's so powerful and so fast that he's an offensively gifted fighter. But there's like one or two things he does extremely well. And I feel like when he's in preparation for a fight, he focuses on those one or two things instead of focusing on the being a complete fighter. I don't think he's focused on being a complete fighter. And this is why I can't pick him to beat someone like Tank just yet. He has a puncher's chance. But outside of that, I don't really know. I don't even know if Ryan can push off at all. And you know what? It's funny you said that, Will, because I was just thinking about that today when it came to Devin Haney and Loma. The holding is going to be a big factor in that fight. Can't wait to do a breakdown on that or talk about it. We'll be talking about it soon. I've already started my breakdown. My film study for my breakdown. I want to get that out of the way. As soon as this fight is over, I'm going straight to that. I'm gonna skip the next couple of weeks of fights. Canelo, Ryder, and all that. I'm gonna go straight to Loma and Devin Haney. I want to do a breakdown of that fight right away. You know, Harry says, "Can Tank handle the speed?" He may not be, and you know what? Ryan might control him if he can keep him on it in his jab. You know, if Ryan don't get hit with something extremely heavy and he stays disciplined, because I said this in my breakdown, if he stays, and I feel like he has to fight a perfect fight, but if he does and he stays completely disciplined the entire 12 rounds, he could either win by points or catch Tank being desperate. You know, if he's up 4, 5, 6 rounds halfway through the fight and Tank starts to lunge, because Tank lunges, Tank can start doing things outside of the game plan and get caught. But we'll see. I picked Tank. I put money on Tank. I put a little bit of my earnings from last week. My earnings was good. I wish I betted more last week, but it is what it is. All right, Charles says, Wave, who was the last fighter to fight a perfect masterclass boxing match and get the dub? Masterclass. Perfect. Masterclass. I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to think about. I have to go through my videos and see what fights stood out to me. I can't think right now. I'm thinking of specific fighters that I respect, but I can't give you a direct answer right away because I can't remember. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I might come on in the morning and chat it up with you guys some more. But I won't be doing any content at the way. And remember, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, but I will be here Saturday. But it's not gonna be the typical commentary video. Okay, because I'm gonna be getting up. I got people coming here. We're gonna be all watching the fight. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna be drunk, and it's a fight part. That's why I labeled it fight party, not live commentary, because we just got. I'm gonna be having a fun time. But I'm gonna get on out of here, man. Please, again, smash that like button if you haven't already. Thank you everybody that came through. Shout out to my guy Boxing Gyms. Make sure you subscribe to him. My man Charles Edward Cheese is in the building. My man Aaron was in here. J.O. Pilot, Geo. Who else is in here? Dr. Mofongo and Dennis. Harry, what's up? Will, what's up? Maker, my man Maker is always here every video. What's up with you? MAW was here. Shout out to all the supporters of the channel. Appreciate Itty Bitty Bad Boy was here. Shout out to all of you, man. I appreciate all y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here, man, and enjoy the rest of my night. Y'all be safe, man. Make some money, have fun, live your life, travel, you know. Get up with some pretty girls. Have fun, man. Live life, man. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. And ladies too that are here. Shout out to you too, man. I'm out, man. Peace.